work, get her paperwork done correctly from start, you know, when she is giving the invoices to her clients, and then, you know, she just hired an accountant for when tax season comes, and he will look over everything and say, okay, this looks good, and then she just sends it in, and then it's done. Whereas in Sweden,
that's only a tiny. I know the bureaucracy in Sweden, and back home. Because did you tell them that I've lived in Sweden? No, right?
No, I haven't yet.
I will tell you now. I've lived in Sweden 5 years. Beautiful country, beautiful people. The ladies, like I said, you know.
Of course.
If any Swedish girls listening to this?
I don't. There's at least one, a friend from back home.
Okay, a friend from back home. If you're Swedish, there is enough room in my hug for you.
He's a very beautiful Greek man, Niko.
Thank you. You could post a picture of me on the.
I might just have to do it.
No, but and the economic prosperity is only one part of the beauty of America.
Yeah.
The beauty of America is that, and me being from Europe, from different parts of Europe, I couldn't find what I wanted back home in Greece, and I couldn't find it in Sweden. So America is the only place for all of us who cannot find happiness where they are to come here and hope for something better.
Yeah, and there is opportunity for that.
There is opportunity, and there is diversity, and
everyone is so fucking encouraging. I mean, say back in Sweden when I was trying to break into the theatrical scene there, everyone was like, no, you shouldn't do that, it's way too fucking hard.
You know what the thing is? It's true that it's way too fucking hard. All over Europe, but particularly in Sweden, in the arts, you know, it's a shame, but it's true that the arts are underdeveloped, I believe, in Sweden. And
yeah, it is. And everyone thinks that Swedish art is the best art, you know, especially the left-wing artists. I do apologize. I do know that I have at least one person who's going through the state-driven theatrical university that listens to this every once in a while. His name is Isaac.
How you doing, Isaac?
Yeah, how you doing? But I mean, the thing is, everyone in the art scene in Sweden have this need to be, you know, a left-winger. Everyone feels this need to be a socialist, you know. And the socialistic ideals, they're beautiful in themselves, but if you look at the way it's been implemented all around the world, it hasn't worked.
And I will tell you why it hasn't worked. Basically, socialism started with Marxists, with Karl Marx and Engels, and what they did was they wrote the manifesto of the Communist Party. But what they did was, it was not a structured economic and social idea. It was a philosophical thought.
Yeah.
So what they did, the communists, mostly the Russians, in the early 1900s, they deviated from that. They took the core idea and they developed their own social and economic structure that is a complete deviation from the philosophical material. If Marx and Engels were here today to see everything that's happening around the world, they would not be communists, they would be capitalists, believe me.
Yeah, definitely. And if you have you read Das Kapital by Marx?
I've read not all the volumes. I've read a summary of it.
Because he was pretty dead on in his analysis of the capitalistic system. Very many of you know the high rollers on Wall Street that came from nothing. They started with, you know, like $100 in investment capital when they were 18.
And that's beautiful, really. Yeah. That's beautiful.
But they've read, you know, certain of them has read Das Kapital, and they've been able to invest in safe cards, you know, and been able to multiply this. And certain of them are multi-millionaires today, and some of them even billionaires, which is fucking brilliant. So,
and that only happens in America.
Exactly.
It doesn't happen in Sweden, definitely not in Greece.
Well, it can happen in Sweden if you're born in the right family. That's the thing.
Is it as easy?
You need to be born in the right family.
In the right family,
yeah.
But to go from nothing to everything?
To go from nothing to everything,
it's impossible.
I mean, the thing is, in Sweden, there's loads of talk about this social heritage that everyone has. My family, let's see here, my grandfather and elder than him, his father, they owned this fucking mansion. That was, you know, seaside mansion. They had a huge house for servants and everything. And during the Second World War, they helped out hiding Jews that came through southern Sweden, which is something that I'm really proud about. because the boats came into that little bay where they had their house, and them hiding Jews meant that Ragnar, my grandfather's father, he had to go down and play nice just to keep them away from his property, just to make sure that they didn't do any stop-in searches and went through his house.
The Germans?
Yeah. So basically he played this double game, very risky. He could have gotten the entire fucking family.
There's your acting legacy, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's where you got it from.
Yeah, and then it comes to my grandfather. He took over the book printing that my family built their fortune on back in the days. First Astrid Lindgren book was my grandfather's father.
You come from a wealthy family?
Not anymore. You see, the thing was, when my grandfather took it over, he basically inherited one of his father's old business partners. But with Ragnar gone, and my grandfather being, the main guy, this guy was like, yeah, you know what? I need more money. So he started embezzling. So the first fucking book printing industry that my grandfather ran went bankrupt, thanks to this guy. And then he started a new one, and it went really well. He bought himself a beautiful sailing boat and everything. And when it was at its peak, when he noticed that, yeah, from here on out, it's going to even out and then it's going to decline. He was able to read, the market. He was very bright in that way. He was like, yeah, I'm just going to fucking sell it. Make as much profit as possible. Which he did. So he just started working, at the floor in another book printing industry. As the main guy. He was in charge of the shift that he led. So he told them that, yeah, we need to do all of this, and this is how you do it most efficiently. And then he retired. He sold his house because he was like, yeah, it's too much fucking work, it's too expensive to heat this shit. So he moved into the small town where my mother is from, in southern Sweden. But anyway, my mother, she was actually this close to going on a world touring performing company, which was called like the Upbeat Kids or the Up Kids or something like that. But she had just been in Miami as an au pair, taking care of other people's children, and she was still, in the age where she needed her parents' consent to do something like this. Mm-hmm. And my grandfather, he had really good intentions, but he sort of didn't really understand what a chance this was for my mother. So he was like, yeah, you can't go, you need to take care of your education. So life might have been a lot different if it wasn't for that. So my mother, she became a nurse, and now she's a...
And many people are victims of that. People are going to try to stop you from what you're doing because they think that the path you're taking is not safe enough, and they want something safer for you. Like yourself,
yeah.
Being an actor is a risky thing.
It is really risky.
But if you do make it, you can come back to them and say, hey, this is what I did.
Mm-hmm.
I told you so.
Exactly. And not only that, I mean, so even if I fail, I still have tried, If I don't try, there's no way of knowing if I could succeed.
Not only, you will have to live the last years of your life wondering what your life could have been if you had tried, and you will have lived a miserable existence, in my opinion. And but advice from me to everybody else out there, because I come from a family that tried to stop me from everything I did because they thought the path I'm taking is risky. And now, when I go back, they tell me how proud of me they are. And, oh, Nika this and Nika that. And I tell them to go fuck themselves. Because when I needed them to be proud of me, they said, no, don't do this, don't do that, fuck you. Dad, if you're listening to this, he doesn't speak English, so so he's not listening to this. But Dad, enjoy yourself with a banana in your hand.
No, but tell us what you are doing. You're studying economics right now.
I'm studying economics right now.
Is it national economics, business economics?
Right now, I haven't chosen the path I'm gonna take. I think I'm gonna go with applied economics. It's more of a national, thing, and it's not that I want to work for the government because fuck that. But I think I would be a great stockbroker. I'm a great salesman. And in sales, you make as much. What you make depends on what you sell. I've sold cars before. I was great. Number one salesman in the dealership. I sold food before. I was great. And I think I would be a great stockbroker as well. And the reason for me being great in sales is because when somebody meets me, They don't have this shield that you have when you meet salesmen, because I believe that you perceive me as a friendly person, right? Don't you? Don't you? So the guard goes down, so it's easy for me to sell you something that's shit, like I did in the food and the car industry. Everything I sold was shit. The food I sold was to mostly German tourists in Greece. It was basically spoiled Greek yogurt, and when they asked me why it tastes funny, I told them it's sour cream. It's Greek sour cream. Try some more. Oh, danke, and then fucking Germans, man. And then the cars too. I used to sell fucked up Russian cars, like Lada.
Oh, holy
like Lada
hell.
cars, and I used to sell them like twice as much as they used to cost to stupid Germans. No, I'm just kidding. I love Germans.
Yeah, but have you watched, the evolution of German cars? You have the BMW, you have Volkswagen, you have Porsche. They have had a huge they've evolved like hell.
Now they're fucked.
Yeah.
With the emissions crisis. Now they're fucked.
With that fucking scandal. I'm still waiting to see all the fallout from that.
Let me tell you what. There's not gonna be a fallout. If you have followed the Siemens crisis 10 years ago, remember the Siemens crisis?
No, I don't.
Remember when Siemens is a company that produces electronic stuff, fridges and refrigerators, but they also produce software for defense purposes and stuff. Well, what Siemens was doing was bribing governments, such as my own, Greece. They were bribing the person in the ministry, so that this person will urge the ministry to buy equipment from Siemens. This is what happened to Greece. Greece, and any German who's listening to this, I hope you're not listening to this, but if you are listening to this and you talk shit about Greece, you were part of the bullshit. You were part of the bullshit with corruption and the crisis. Siemens was basically bribing, and many German companies were bribing Greek politicians so that we could buy guns from Germany, tanks and airplanes and so on. And Siemens was part of that scandal, and absolutely nothing happened. And I'm sure nothing's going to happen to Volkswagen either.
Are you sure?
I'm absolutely sure.
Huh. It will be interesting to follow at any point.
They're gonna have to pay some fines, but no people are gonna lose their jobs. Nothing too bad is going to happen to them.
Well, I mean, that's sort of the way that the business world works sometimes. I mean, if you look at the latest financial breakdown, 2008, JP Morgan, fucking Lehman Brothers, they were just handed fucking billions of dollars.
Goldman Sachs,
Yeah, they were handed billions of dollars in the fucking bailout. No one even knows where that fucking money went. No one knows. It's fucking insane.
You can look around you and see all the Maseratis are driving and the boats, and you know. You know.
But it's sort of like this fucking arrogance of certain bankers. In some ways, I admire the ballsiness of it.
There you go. Thank you.
But they are fucking pigs.
No, man. You know what? You know what the thing is? If somebody comes up to you and he's stupid enough to give you his money for absolutely nothing, he's a fucking cunt that deserves to be fucked with. So the Greek people who are bright and they spend all the money on German fucking equipment, fuck you all. You're fucking cunts. You deserve what you get. And the same goes for the American people, because they were scammed by all these banks on international level. So all of us deserve the dick we're riding right now. All of us. I can only applaud those people for stealing the money from us. They are geniuses.
Yeah, definitely.
We're fucking sheep.
Yeah. Well, I try to consider.
Do I scream too much?
It's clipping a little bit, but it's all right.
I can. I didn't take my pills this morning, so forgive me. Dude, it's a coffee, I'm telling you.
Yeah, no, fucking coffee is brilliant. You were going to tell me about your fucking coffee addiction as well.
My coffee addiction. Basically, coffee is a stimulant.
Yeah.
And like I told you, I have this brain imbalance in my brain. Most people won't understand this. Can I break it down? Can I elaborate on that? So the brain, the way the brain is structured, the bottom of the brain, or the back of the brain, as some people call it, is the brain that we developed first. Back in the caves when we were animals, some people still are. Fellow Germans, you're back in the caves.
Don't you speak shit about Deutschland.
Listen, I love the German people. Lara, You're probably not listening to this.
You should send her a link.
I'll send her a link. Yeah. Lara, I love you. When your boyfriend breaks up with you, I'm here for you.
You will have to show me a picture.
I will. She's hot.